Forgot to put my mic on. That's good. Okay, so what I was saying before I started pulling out cards was that, can you hear me now? I'm not going to be answering yes or no questions until I do the reading. So first I'm going to do the energy check-in to see what the collective needs to know at this time. And then I'm going to answer. Thank you, Brazia. Welcome back. Thank you for letting me know. So before I get started with the yes or no questions, I want to do a general check-in. I'm giving people an opportunity to see how I read and if they want to subscribe. So the first 30 minutes is going to be with a general check-in, and then I'll answer yes or no questions. So far, the cards that I have are the Venom, the Desert, Medallion, and then the Box. Okay, let's see. I want to know. So I'm going to go into the book. Look how tiny this book is. All right. So the first card we have is the Venom. That's indicating like snakes, something venomous, something to look out for. It could be what can kill you or what can make you stronger. Let me see what the Venom. This book is so tiny. Oh, I got it, found it. Wow. Okay. The Venom, the poison, the curse, the toxin. You see there's fangs there. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it's built into every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily. However, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, this is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps a relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. So in the light aspect, since the card fell, in the light aspect, it says self-realization through suffering. And in the dark, it's unwillingness to find a solution or forgive. To go deeper is a poison tree. It mentions that. So basically, there may be something around you or something within you that may be toxic. It could be something or someone that has said something, or it could be thoughts that you have. It could be anything in your environment that isn't really conducive to you. It could be, and sometimes we could say things that can hurt somebody's feelings. Sometimes we can spit venom. It's funny that the desert card came out next, because when you think of the desert, it means barren, something barren where there's no growth. It seems like, it's like, you know how deserts are, it looks like there's no growth, but somehow they're a cactus, somehow there's still wildlife. But it's like something deep within the surface. So like if you really think about venom and it talked about, psyche, it could be within your psyche, like your thoughts, your beliefs. It could be what's around you. It could be other people. That's something that you need to look out for. Let me go into the desert. It's funny that some of the cards are very close to each other. The deserts. And they're not in alphabetical order. So I hope to learn these cards so I don't have to go into this book, because it's a pain in the ass, honestly. All right. So when I think, when you think about the desert, it's somewhere hot, it's somewhere dry, it's somewhere barren, it's somewhere where you don't think anything can survive, like anything can really thrive. But it's like something that's void of a void of moisture. I don't know if some of you have either been in a situation where you felt like you've cried as much as you thought you can possibly, you never thought you would stop crying. This is what's coming to my mind. You've cried so much that you felt like dehydrated. You feel like you have no more emotions, like you're void of emotions, like a well of emotions has run dry. And it could be because of a certain situation that you've experienced. Sometimes it gets to the point where when now that I think about it, I'm reading it intuitively. I'm like, fuck this card, this deck, a book, or whatever. I'm sorry. Hi, Aina. It's like you could reach this point where you like have no more Fs. Like you give no more Fs. Like you've it's not like you gave up hope, but it's like you don't care anymore. You cared as much as you can, and now it's time for you to like turn your emotions somewhere else. Your well basically has run dry for something or someone, and it could be something that can be tied to a venomous energy. Sometimes too, if you're like dealing with stuff internally, it could get to the point where you're like, I'm sick of being like this. I'm sick of crying over the same things, over the same people, over the same situations. And it's like you're turning a new leaf, is what I want to say. It's I was reading the drought, the wasteland, badlands, the desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, as we confronted with lack of clarity, existential dread, we are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort, the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again. You can tap into potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, wary traveler. So surreal, strange, unexpected visions, silence, drawing, deadening, disorienting, isolating. So after everything that I just said on top of that, adding on to this, it's like, what's making me think of right now? You may think that's like, I remember I was saying you not lost hope, but you lost emotion, like you no longer care. It's kind of like surrendering, if you really think about it. It's like some of you may have surrendered. One of the most, like, if you think about one of the most toxic things that humans can do, I'm not answering questions right now. One of the most like toxic things that humans can do is about control. I feel like some of you may be surrendering control over a situation where you probably felt like you were desperate. You did everything that you could. You tried to fix something, and then it's just that the realization that it's time to like let go. Wherever you have been or whoever you've been dealing with, there's nothing there. And it's like you have no choice but to see the truth, the truth of the matter, the truth that some of you, like it's time to move on or time to outgrow a situation. It's time to have hope that something better is on its way. When you think of any land that's void of any life, it's because it hasn't been nurtured or hasn't been nurtured in a long time. And if you think about yourself, is there anything that you have left unnurtured? Is there anything that you have basically abandoned or neglected within yourself? And you have to determine like, okay, like where have I been? It's like, say you've been holding on to control. Where have I limited myself? Where have you can even limit yourself by not taking action. You could be stuck in your head, stuck in your thoughts. Like I said, you could like another toxic thing that we have is those limiting beliefs that we can't do something. You have, that's something that has to be released, and like the desert, it's unfamiliar territory too. When you start to change the way you could, like basically this, let's paint a picture. If you change the landscape of your mind, it's unfamiliar to you because you're changing the way you usually think things. And it can be uncomfortable for you, because you're trying to release something that isn't serving you, but you're trying to create a new way of being, a new way of thinking. And in some way, yeah, it's uncomfortable because it's like you're now learning a different way of being, but also you're learning something new about yourself. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, you know? So we have the medallion here. The passing on of sacred objects is an ancient ritual within families, between lovers, and in tribes across the globe. We gift jewels, treasures, keepsakes, mementos of all kinds, some of great material value, others that hold emotional resonance, and still others with both. Yet when these gifts are bestowed upon us, it is important to recognize that they may bind us to an unspoken agreement or promise. When the medallion card appears, be aware of those objects who hold dear let me read that again. Be aware of how the objects you hold dear may be embedded with unconscious energy or expectations. Materials hold consciousness, and it's time to reconcile the vibration of the objects around you. What do you covet and collect? Why? Is there an object you have held onto for years that you are ready to release? Perhaps it's time to reach for the medallion that aligns with your deepest values. So it's an amulet, the talisman, and the heirloom. And it's upholding tradition, protecting, honoring, burdensome inheritance, habituation. So if we look at, what this is reminding me of? Like certain belief systems that we're taught growing up, that no longer resonate with us. They could be part of our traditions from our culture or traditions because of our family, like it's however something's celebrated or how certain things are done. That may be something that you have to look at. If there's certain things that you used to do or your family does that has been done for a long time, maybe something you've been doing for a long time, you need to start evaluating whether it's something that resonates with who you are at this moment. And if it's something that's sustainable, something that you can continue practicing, and does it still serve a purpose? Because sometimes we have habits that at one point worked for us, had value, but then we could be at different places in our life where those habits no longer serve us. They have no place in our life. So there may be certain things that you're going to have to put away. And it's interesting that we have the box. It's like some things need to be laid to rest, Some things need to be laid to rest. Some things need to be laid to rest. Certain habits, behaviors, patterns, belief systems, memories, because sometimes there are certain memories that we hold on to that we think are going to help guide us. I'm being very philosophical right now. You know how you could look at something from the past and then try to see how it resonates with the current situation. And then you realize, okay, this is different though, right? What I'm dealing with right now is not the same as something I dealt with in the past. So maybe this memory that I'm using as a comparison doesn't really match or align or really rationalize whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm doing at this time. So it's like when I think of the box, you could think of something like a memento box. Sometimes we have these little boxes that we put things of importance, things that we value. It could be sentimental items, right? But it could be sentimental memories, but it could be also lessons, experiences that we have, that we sometimes revisit from time to time that, I hope I'm making sense. I'm being very philosophical right now. Things that you revisit, when you look at it, you remember, you reflect on it. It brings up all these emotions. And then if you're going through a certain situation and then you try to compare it to what you're going through now to what you experienced in the past, you'd be like, okay, this doesn't really align because the person's different, the situation's different, I'm different. So it's like something that needs to be shelved, something that needs to be put away. It says the cage, the rules, the norm, structure, order, coherence, logic. right? Logic is the way you think, the way you rationalize things, the way you justify things. We all live to some degree within the confines of this box. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is sneaky, insidious, and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious levels. It is built of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through its confines requires awareness. The way I was reading this is like a literal box, you know, like a cardboard box, but it's also one where it's like a cookie mold. It's something that's like it's supposed to keep you trapped, it's supposed to keep you confined to one space or one way of being. That's like the worst place for anybody to be in, especially if you're someone who wants to grow. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well-paying but heartless job, the presence to look or behave like others, or simply stay small. Don't put yourself in a box. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort, and bravery. There is a box around you now made of some type of confining thought. What is it? The box shifts and morphs as we grow. This is part of its multi-layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to you. Keep going, break through, an exquisite life requires it. You know what's so interesting? Because like I was literally reading this as like a box, an actual box, you know? But in a way, it's like what I was saying too, like how we have these certain beliefs, limitations, stuff that's been taught to us, and also experiences that we go back to, that we revisit. But also those beliefs, those experiences can limit us because we're looking at what it was at that time, and it's total, whatever we may be comparing something to at this moment is totally different. You know what I mean? So sometimes whenever we're thinking of something, whatever we're valuing, a memory, a memento, or something, it can limit us in our thinking and also our vision, the way we see things. It could limit our perception of things. But, you know, this is where it's important to sometimes break out of the box that society has built around us or tries to build around us, even what our families built around us with expectations and, but also expectations from society, right? But also the experiences you have also limit you too, because you're only looking at what you're experiencing now from the lens of something you experienced in the past. But the thing is, you have to be open-minded. You know, you can look for the similarities, right? You can look for the red flags or the green flags and stuff, but still you have to remain open-minded, you know, but also be open to what you discover about yourself too, you know, because we're constantly evolving, you know. Some people may not even know that there may be venom within them, that there may be toxic traits that you have. And I know toxic is a very strong word to use, but, you know, all of us have like these little things that limit us, that harm us, that we may not even be aware of, you know. And this is where you have to be very conscious. And with the desert showing up, it's like everything is like a blank slate. If you think about it, it's barren land, right? But you get to see everything that exists there, you know, with you creating this new landscape for yourself, this new way of being and this new way of thinking, you know. But it's also too, at some aspect, about releasing things that don't serve you and where you're headed, you know. So don't let your experiences, past beliefs, even past versions of yourself put you in a box. Don't do that to yourself. You know that you are more than what you've experienced, and you're continuing to be more as you go on through your life's journey. You know, I hope that makes sense. I get philosophical sometimes, especially when I'm channeling. So we can leave the reading like that. I want to see what tarot has to say though. I'm going to go into the Edgar Allan Poe deck, and then I'm going to try to keep this part of the reading. Hi, Izzy. How are you? Hi, Nishi. Welcome back. Hi, Naina. Thank you for being patient, all of you. So I'm going to go into my Edgar Allan Poe deck because this has a lot more imagery than the Rider White, and it has like that shadow. Like the cards, I was preparing them for yes or no, but whatever. Let's see. I'll read them intuitively. So this is, to me, this is kind of like a shadow reading, you know? I'm not answering questions yet. So when I give the cue and the 30-minute mark of this live, that's when I'll be answering yes or no questions. And then that's when you can post your questions in the chat, because I'm not going to scroll up and look for the questions. So I'm going to make it easier for myself to avoid any confusion and make sure these questions get answered in the order they're received once I give the cue. Okay. So let's see. What is this? What is this reading? How does this oracle message resonate? Like, what is this message? Okay, Ten of Pentacles. This can have to do with your legacy. This has to do with where you're going financially. Like, what are you building for yourself long term? You know? Are you going in the direction that you see yourself going, or are you limiting yourself? Because this card came out in the reverse, and I'm just going to read it in the upright, but you see there's a map here. You know, this could be your life path. Are you following your life path? Are you going towards what is meant for you, what you're destined for, what's meant to bring you fortune, and whatever sense of the word fortune means to you? Okay, Knight of Cups. Are you pursuing what makes you happy? Are you putting your energy towards things that you care about, that you value, that you place importance on? Anything else? Because the Knight of Cups is someone who pursues what they care about, what they love, what brings them emotional satisfaction, what fulfills them, you know, what excites them emotionally, you know, the Two of Wands. Some of you may be at this point where you're just trying to decide which path you want to take for yourself, you know, but the one you have to take is the one where you're not following anyone. Because in this card, this person is following this person because he wants to know, what is this guy hiding? You know, what is this guy doing? This is about you focusing on what you're doing, not what other people are doing. This is about you focusing on what you want for your future, where you want to go, where you want to prosper, where you want to see abundance for yourself. Where are you going to feel emotionally fulfilled? Are you going to be happy? Like you know, like you're pouring into, or you're giving into what matters. Don't waste your time chasing people, following what other people are doing, seeing what other people are doing, copying them in any way. Because remember, you're yourself. God made you to be you. He didn't make you to be a cheap carbon copy of somebody else, you know? What else? Because that could be the box that we put ourselves in. We see what other people are doing, and then we try to emulate that. But the thing is, whatever that person is doing may not even be for you, and it may not even work with you. It may not even emotionally fulfill you. It doesn't align with you emotionally. It may go against what it is that you do care about. Like if you're someone who has ethics and morals, and then you see other people doing things that are like questionable in some way, you know, you can use those people as markers of what not to do, you know, but don't follow what other people are doing just because you think it will give you like this 10 of Pentacles quicker. Or no, you want to build it from the ground up for yourself, you know, not following what other people are talking about. It's interesting because we have the desert card here, but then we also have the Ten of Pentacles, and you see sand. You know, deserts are very sandy, very hot, very uncomfortable places to be. You know, you want to be somewhere where you are not like, you want to be comfortable. I would say emotional satisfaction, but you want to be emotionally like stable, but you also want to be comfortable, and not in a comfort zone, in a box type of way, but you're comfortable in your skin, comfortable, because remember, you are your own home, right? You want to be comfortable doing whatever it is you're doing because it's what comes naturally to you. It's not something, you know. Why are people not listening? I said 30-minute mark. Right now we're at 27:34. So you're gonna have to repost your questions after the 30-minute mark. Okay, let's see. Anything other messages the collective needs to know with regards to this energy? Some of you may be holding on to something that you just know isn't right for you. You're going to be holding yourself back. And if you do that, and you're just going to be limiting yourself in some way. The 10 of Pentacles is going to be in reverse. You're not going to see the abundance. You're not going to see anything, because if you continue on a path where you're not allowing yourself to ascend, you're just instead sinking deeper, deeper, because you're not following what is authentic, true to you. All you're doing is just putting yourself literally in a box. It could be like a coffin, because you're going to be trapping and limiting and not allowing who you're meant to be to grow, to prosper, to exist. In a way, it's kind of like I want to say it's like you're killing yourself. You're hurting yourself. That's the worst thing to do. Some of you may know that you're not doing the right thing, but you're just not following your intuition. You know, you're letting your fear keep you limited, you know, and that's something that that's something that has to be changed. Your fear serves no purpose other than to keep you trapped. Yeah, it's supposed to keep you safe, but to a certain extent, it could keep you trapped. Some of you may be just used to being in your comfort zone, but that may be something that you have to stop. You have to change, you know, because in some ways you want to free yourself. You want to, I don't know if some of you are Leo. I see the Leo constellation. That's interesting. I see Leo in the High Priestess card. That's very interesting. The Leo constellation is there. I don't know if anybody, it's your pride. Don't let your pride get in the way. Do not let your pride get in the way. You know, don't let your pride get in the way. Let me see something. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Let's see. Don't let your pride get in the way. Your pride can be blocking your intuition too. If you're constantly thinking about what other people are doing, what other people are thinking, how other people see you, how you're being perceived, are you being liked? Are you being loved? You know, that could be very limiting to you, and that could be a blockage as well. If you're looking for external validation, you know, that could be a box in itself. It could be the box you put yourself into. And that's something that you have to relieve yourself from, free yourself from, liberate yourself from. That's something you definitely have to reflect on, however it resonates with you. Okay, this reading was very full of, I like these types of readings because not everything is about love, romantic love. You know, there's more to life than that, because if you I'm going to put it this way, and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I would love to be loved. I would love to be in a relationship. I would love to be with somebody and have that conversation about, like, are we going to get married? Are we going to move in together? Are we going to, you know, that'd be great and everything. But the thing is, if you're not whole and complete with yourself, you're not going to be bringing much to the table in that aspect, you know, and neither is the person that you may end up with. If you're so busy wondering if somebody, you know, wondering about that, you know, I think the most important thing is, yeah, it's good to be loved. It's good to be loving. But remember, the first person you're supposed to be good and loving to is to yourself, you know. So I like these cards. I think I'm going to use them a little more often. I like that reading. That was very interesting. Okay, so the yes or no questions, I'm not going to be using tarot. I'm going to be using the Divine Timing Oracle deck because it has yes or no on it, and I'm just going to answer them that way. And if the card aligns with your message, then I'll read the message. But if it doesn't, then it's just going to be straight yes or no. Okay. So now you can start asking your yes or no questions if you're a subscriber. Because now, okay. Okay. Yes or no questions can be asked now. All right. If not, I could just go into another reading. Let me see. Okay, I see a question. Okay, let me fix my cards and then I'll answer your question, Aina. Okay, so Aina, yes, now is the time to post your question. Hi, Pri, how are you? That will be the time to, so let's see. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Yes or no? Okay. So will Aina's father return to the business? Will Aina's father return to the business? Will Aina's father return to the business? It's interesting because you got two cards that came out with yes, no, and then you have a no here. I don't know, like the bottom card is the one that, is this a family business? Because if it is, there, I don't know if there's some issues going on with that, maybe not allowing your father to return. I don't know, like it's saying no. It's a yes, but the way I see it is like, maybe he feels like if it's a family business, because I'm not sure if it is, if it is, he may not feel like he has to. If there's not an issue going on within the business, he may not feel like he has to because he feels like the business will be fine without him. I don't know. So I feel like it's that. Okay. Okay, now Pri's question. Let's see. What Tushar Phil was saying for Priya again. Will Tushar feel the same for Priya again? 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 Tushar feel the same for Priya again? Will Tushar. Hi, Evie. Hi, Jade. Will Tushar have the same feels for Priya again? Wow. It's saying you got a yes. You got a yes. You got another yes on the bottom. Okay, I hope that helps Priya. Okay, so let me see what the next question is. Okay, Sammy. You're welcome, Sammy. I hope that resonates with someone. All right, the first reading, the general reading. All right. One man make a move. What's Sammy? One make a move on Sammy. One man make a move on Sammy. One man make a move on Sammy. Woo! One make a move on Sammy. I don't know. Is he dealing with somebody? Because it's like, no, as long as he is dealing with somebody else, he will not make a move. But if he breaks up with that person, he will. Because the card says yes, recent breakup, and then no, third party. So I don't know if he's dealing with somebody else. Does he have a girlfriend? Is he talking to other people? I say it's saying no as long as there's another person around, but yes, once that situation ends. And I think that's the way you would want it to be, because you don't want to be in a third party situation, I would think. But some people like that stuff, you know? So please question. Okay. I hope that helps, Sammy. Okay, let me go to Jade's question. Will Isla become a model? Who is Isla? Is that you, Jade? Jade Corbin? Are you Isla? Hi, Jade. Okay. Oh, your daughter. Okay. Okay. I had to ask, like, how are you connected to Isla? Okay. Will Isla become a model? Will Jade's daughter, Isla, become a model? Will Jade's daughter, Isla, become a model? Will Jade's daughter, Isla, become a model? Wow. It's saying no. And you, like, these three cards fell out together. They flipped together. It's saying no. I forgot to mention this. I read for the current energy. There may be a reason why she's not going to become a model now, because I read for current energy, and it may not be the right time, because the angels, it said the angels, mention the angels. It's about divine timing. So right now, it's looking like a no for Isla. The thing is, what does she want to do? I don't know if this, you said she wants to become a nurse, but she was accepted as a model. So, you know what's funny? One of the notes said career focused. No, it's a career focused. So it's, I mean, she has options. She could do both if she wanted to. But if she wants to be a nurse, you know. Yeah, so ultimately it's her decision to make, you know. But if her dream is to become a nurse, a prenatal, no, not prenatal. Like what do you call it? What do you call those nurses that take care of the? She wants to deliver babies. What kind of, like a midwife or something? I'm thinking midwife, because those are only nurses that I can. Oh, yeah, see, they're the nurses that they deliver babies. I think that's why it's a no, because I think she may be wanting to focus more on that. But the thing is, it's ultimately up to her, because depending on she could, depending on the type of modeling she does, she could do both, you know. But I know nursing school is very serious. You have to be very focused, and you have to do a lot of studying. And it's because of where I work. I know, I see. It's very like competitive here where I work. And, you know, so I think your daughter already knows. It's ultimately her decision, you know, to make. But it's cool. She'd be the modeling midwife, you know. You know, so if she could find time to do both, then it's possible. But I know to be a nurse, to be a midwife, that takes a lot of time and dedication and studying, you know. She could model while she's delivering the babies. Well, good luck to your daughter, Isla. She sounds like a wonderful person that wants to do something amazing, because to be a part of the nursing field, in the medical field, you have to be loving, caring, compassionate, just a good human being. Oh, you're welcome, Jade. Okay, let's see. I'm going back up to, I see Izzy's. Okay, I'm going back up to the questions. All right, because I wanted to know who Isla was. Okay, let's see. I did Sammy's question. Okay. I'm going to answer Edie's. Will Steve speak his feelings? Will Steve speak about his feelings? Will Steve speak to Evie about his feelings? Will Steve speak to Evie about his feelings? Jesus. Wow. It's looking like a no. You got two no's, but then you have a yes. That's what, like, I don't like that so many cards come out, but I'm seeing more no's than anything. This yes card came out. That might be separate. You might be meeting somebody else. That may not be separate. But the thing is, you got no. No. But then you have this yes, twin flame. That might be separate. There may be a different person for you, Evie. But Steve could be a twin flame, but he may not be speaking his feelings right now. But I don't really like giving labels like soulmate, twin flame. I don't like doing that, because that's for you to decide for yourself. But it's looking like no, he's not going to be expressing his feelings to you based on the current energy. I have to remember, I read for the current energy. The current energy. Remember, people change, just like the weather. Okay, I hope that helps. But that twin flame karma. All right. Will S and Izzy reconcile? Wait, yeah. Will S and Izzy reconcile? 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 You got 2 yeses. And you got one of the cards that says new beginning. And they're missing you. I'll even give you a time frame. It may be this week. Okay. It could be this week. Within the next few hours, next few days. That's the time frame the card says. So Izzy, it's looking like a yes for you. I hope that helps. Okay, and I'm going to go to Aina's second question. Will the older person, is there, let me see how I could change that. Will they express? Okay. Okay. I was going to ask a question, but like, no, I'm not going to ask. No. Okay. Would an older person interested in Aina express it to her? Will the older person interested in Aina express it to her? Will the older person express their interest in Aina? Will the older person express their interest in Aina? Will the older person express their interest in Aina? I have to say it in different ways. Will the older person express their interest in Aina? Will the older person express their interest in Aina? One card only, please, Spirit. Just one card, please. Will the older person express their interest in Aina? I'm going to say yes, but there may be something pausing them. I don't know if they have a bit of hesitation about it, but it's saying yes. Because I'm going to go with yes because you have 2 yeses here. And then one of them says clear the air. That's indicating like someone's going to talk about something, express the truth, confess something, you know? So it's looking like a yes, Aina. I hope that helps. You're welcome, Evie. You're welcome, Izzy. I hope that's what you want, though, because that was like 2 positive cards you got. Like, hey, Cheryl, how are you? Okay, Anisha, I will get to your question next. Let's see. Paigey. Hi, Paigey. I don't know how to pronounce that. So, should Paigey move on from the guy they're talking to? Should Paigey move on from the guy they're talking to? Should Paigey move on from the guy they're talking to? You got a no card. It's saying no. But it says uncertainty. I don't know if there's something that you're uncertain about this person or you feel like this person is uncertain about you. You know? But it's saying no. If it feels like it's been going slow, it might be because somebody needs to make some sort of move. I don't know if this person has expressed their feelings to you or not, but it's saying no. So I feel like it's like saying, give it time. Give it some time. But ultimately, it's up to you. If you don't want to talk to this person anymore, this is just a card. You still got free will. You get to make decisions still. But the card is saying no, because there's some uncertainty on someone's part. It could be yours because you are asking the question, but you got to reflect. Okay, if there's something that you're not clear about when it comes to this person, You have to ask yourself what it is, you know, and if it's a deal breaker or not, you know. You will know what that means for you, Beiji. Okay, I hope that helps. Oh, good. Thank you, Beiji. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, yes, just put your question in the chat and I'll answer. It has to be a yes or no question. Hey, Christy, how are you? All right, will Nishi get married? Will Nishi get married? You're welcome, baby. Will Nishi get married? All right, based on the current energy, Nishi, it's saying no, but there may be something that you're doing that's kind of blocking yourself. Because it said hard to open up. Are you someone who kind of holds back a lot? Are you someone it's difficult to get to know you? Are you a Scorpio? I'm just joking. But because there could be something. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a blockage for you. So if you want to get married, you have to open yourself up. Of course, you can still keep your guards up. You can protect yourself, but you know you have to create some sort of opening to allow someone to approach you, to talk to you. And if they approach you and you're not interested, you don't even have to entertain it. But the thing is, if there is somebody that you are interested in, you know, you may have to give them the opening, allow them to, you know, want to approach you, you know, put on just be yourself, you know, open up a little, you know, and see how the person is. And then, you know how to proceed accordingly. But the thing is, it's like, don't block out something because of that fear. Yes. It says they fear being vulnerable and risk being hurt emotionally. That's what the card says. So you have to, you know what it is? When with love, it's a risk. You never know if someone's going to hurt you or not. And sometimes even if the person does love you, they can still hurt you. You know, they can disappoint you. They could say something that, even though if they don't mean it in a certain way, it could be taken that way. And sometimes they can say mean things, you know, and depending on what type of mean thing they said, then that's probably not a person for you. If it's really mean, like abusive mean, then you know it's not for you. But yeah, you definitely need to open yourself up more. I can resonate with that. I'm not a Gemini, but I'm a Scorpio. That's why I joked about it. Are you a Scorpio? Because like, I think regardless of anybody's sign, nobody wants to get hurt, you know? It's like if you've experienced heartbreak before, it's, you know, you recover from it, but it's still, you're like, who wants to experience that again? It sucks, you know? Oh, okay, Cheryl. Okay, Cheryl's question is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? And then I'll get to yours, Christy. Is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? Is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? Is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? Is Carlton? No. We want one card to come out. Don't play games. Is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? You're welcome, Nishi. Is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? Is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? Is Carlton thinking about Cheryl? This is weird. I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck, but because that's not a yes or no or maybe or nothing. It says illusions. Move on from the illusion of them so you don't lose yourself in losing them and loving them. Sorry. Right? But let me look at the bottom. But it's saying yes. But I don't like that it says an option. Okay? That's something to think about. Not ready to commit, but they don't want to lose you either. They want to keep their options open. Illusions. You take what that means for you, Cheryl. You'll know what that means for you. Because those cards came out for a specific reason. Okay, I hope that helps, Cheryl. Okay, where's Christy's question? Okay. Will Christy get a response for the apartment? Will Christy get a response about the apartment or for the apartment? Will Christy get a response about the apartment? I don't know who we is, so I'm going to say Christy. Will Christy get a response for the apartment? Will Christy get a response about the apartment? Will Christy get a response for 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 the apartment? Will Christy get it? It's saying yes. It's saying yes, but it says taking action. I don't know if there's something else you need to do. If anything, just always check whatever you may be missing or anything, or follow up with them too to see what the status is. But because it says taking action, but it's like, yes, you will get a response about the apartment. And it might require, whatever response you get, it may require you to have to take some sort of action. You know, I try to, if you know how I read, Christy, so you've been here before. I hope that helps, Christy. Okay, good. You're welcome, Cheryl. I wanted to try using these cards because they have get clear yes or no, and then it's interesting to see how it aligns with the questions you ask. Let me see something here. Let's see. What's 7:03? We've been out for an hour. You're welcome, Christy. Okay, I think I'll take a break from reading the yes or no because no one else has posted a question. So I want to go into the Sweet Love Tea Oracle deck and see what love messages we get. Excuse me. What love messages does the collective need to know at this time? What love messages does the collective need to know at this time for the highest and greatest good? If you want a yes or no question to be answered, you have to be a subscriber. Endless love. This could be the one you waited for to love forever. Engaged, wedding, commit. Endless love. What else does collective need to know? Graceful dance. Lift each other during high and low times. Inspire, hold footing. Like, I feel like this is a type of relationship or love that you support each other. It's like supporting each other. That's what the card says, literally. But I feel like with the endless love, is like, I don't know if some of you haven't, and maybe people come in, or maybe people watching the replay later on. Maybe I think I'm gonna put a timestamp. I'm gonna put at the 1 hour mark is gonna be the love reading. Baby steps. Take your time and build your love slowly with care. Relaxed, deliberate, aware. So I feel like for some of you, I want to know what's this. You create positivity and warmth together. Happy, open, optimistic, radiant love. Radiant love. I feel like, you know what's so interesting when I keep saying radiant love, radiant love. I feel like it's like when if I don't know if anybody's in a relationship or you're going to meet somebody new, but I feel like this If it's something new, some of you may be meeting someone where you and them are going to be very taking deliberate steps. It's like a dance, you know, like a mating dance. Like if you meet somebody, it's like you're going through the motions, you know, like you're trying to, you know, get to know each other. You're trying to find the rhythm within your relationship or within the dynamic you're having with someone who you may ultimately be with. But it's like this is what's building the groundwork for a strong relationship where that this relationship has like the ability or the ability to stand the test of time, will have longevity, you know, because you know when you're getting to know somebody, you have to take things slowly. It requires patience. It requires you being open and vulnerable and honest, and even in your childlike energy too, you know, vulnerable. And then as you're getting to know each other, it's like you're learning how to maneuver around each other, how to communicate with each other, how to love each other, how to deal with issues together, how to resolve arguments, disagreements, how you inspire each other to be better, how you inspire each other to shine. But that it's because of this is what's creating that endless love, that type of relationship that when you look at it, you can imagine like forever with this person. So it could be some of you are already in this type of connection where you've already established a foundation. You've built a solid foundation with this person, or some of you are in the process of that, or some of you may be meeting somebody where that may be happening. You know, it's like you bring out the best in each other. Okay. Some of you might be meeting this person like in a social gathering. It may be a party, a masquerade party. It could be, it doesn't have to be. I'm just going by the imagery, but it could be a social event, a social gathering. It could be a work event. It could be anything where there may be people dressing up, or it could just be people just having a good time. You know, you could be out with friends of the same gender. This person may be watching you watching you, observing you. Like, just forget if you don't know anything about Edgar Allan Poe, let's not think about the creepy aspects. But the guy does look a little creepy, you know, right there. I don't know if you could see him. The person might be wearing red. Red. I'm sorry, like this is for somebody. Somebody's wearing red. They may stand out. They may be different, you know, than everybody there. They may be dressed differently. They may act differently. They may be foreign. You know, they could be from another country. They could just have an unusual look. They could be exotic. The endless love. Oh, this is someone that, I don't know, when you look at this, this is the sun. You see how they're looking at each other? This is someone that they may be a Leo. They may have Leo in their chart. You may be a Leo. You may meet them during Leo season, which is July and August. The number 19 may be significant, or 3. So it could be, we're leaving March, we're exiting March. I don't know if you met this person, or I don't know if anybody went out March 19th. That's very specific, I know. But I'm noticing the numbers now. Just signs and synchronicities. Look at this. I'm going to give you signs and symbols. Something for you to look out. The color red. The color sunflowers. I know somebody said sunflowers were their favorite flower. That'd be funny if March 19th is the anniversary for them. That'd be very funny. Or the day they met or something. Okay, I got a message right now. Hold on a moment. Okay. I'm sorry, I just have to respond to this message. Okay. So March 19th may be significant. Or the 3rd or 19th. Like March 19th could be somebody's birthday. All right. What else about the sunless love? This person, ooh, when they look at you, it's like, I want to say breath of fresh air, or you light up a room. Makes sense with the radiant love. What else does the collective need to know about this endless love? 7 of Swords. I think if this person sees you, when you meet this person, or could have been, they strategize how to come towards you, how to approach you. They may be strategizing that with the 7 of Swords. I know people tend to think the 7 of Swords is a negative card, like lying, deception, blah, blah, blah. But it's also about strategy, you know? So this person may be strategizing how to approach you in some way. It's funny, I was talking about the red because the person in the back is wearing red. So I'm looking at the graceful dance card, which is going to be clarified next. The person's wearing a red dress. So I don't know if somebody was wearing a red dress or plans to wear a red dress or is going to be wearing a red dress when they go out to some sort of event. Red dress and heels. Okay, let's see. Sorry about graceful dance. Okay, is the Fool. See, I feel like with this, lift each other during both high and low times. I feel like this is the type of person where you and them will be very open with each other. You may feel like you're acting foolishly with each other, that you may be foolish with each other. You know, you and them may have adventures. I'm confused. This man is confusing me. Why you won't let me click on the name? All right. I'm getting confused by this dude. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Whatever. Okay, so this person may be somebody that you may be like, maybe a bit foolish about. Somebody that you probably go into adventures. And I think with this person may be an adventurous person. And I think also what it mentions the high and low times that you're going to be able to see each other and during vulnerable times because of however you and this person may be establishing your relationship. You know, this person could be an Aries. I did say March 19th. Hi, Alpha. How are you? Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Thank you for letting me know. I was wondering how you were doing. So thank you for coming by and letting me know. Congratulations. Oh, I'm not answering yes or no questions right now, Opal. I hope you're doing well. Right now I'm doing a love reading. So I answered yes or no questions. I'm going to go back to that. I would say in 15 minutes, I'll answer questions. Yes or no questions. But right now I'm doing a love reading. I'm in the middle of a love reading. Okay, let's see. So like I said, March 19th may be significant. So that's Aries, right? That's still Aries. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Come back in 15 minutes. Or listen to the reading. Yeah. I think for like like I said, adventure, just having fun with each other, being foolish, just giddy, happy, good times. But also like this vulnerability where you may see each other and I don't know, like if this is somebody that you connect to very quickly, this is somebody that proves to be somebody that you could trust, that you can, proves to be like a leader in some way, you know? Proves to be somebody that you can follow, like you could follow their lead or vice versa. They may feel like they could follow your lead, you know? Because you think about it, these two people are following, right? And when you think of dancing, someone has to take the lead, right? But there has to be a level of trust and vulnerability, right? What else? Oh, oh my God. Oh my God. I think it's because people say I have a relaxing, soothing voice. In my mind, I'm like, I sound like I'm screaming and stuff. But then when I watch my video, I'm like, I'm not screaming. Anything else with the graceful dance? Ooh, we got the Hierophant. This is Taurus energy. But it could be somebody too that proves to be very stable and secure, even though they could be adventurous. They could be someone who proves to be stable, secure, someone that maybe spiritual themselves, somebody that is commitment forward, meaning that they want commitment, you know. Two, they want a new beginning, you know, because the Fool is someone who is entering uncharted territory, new territory. Maybe this is someone who never thought that they would want to have a commitment, but they see that you're someone that they can envision a future with, because we have the sun coming out, you know. You capture them, you've somehow proved to them that, or vice versa, this person proves to you that you and them could have a connection that, like I said, can have longevity, that can stand the test of time. And commitment too, faithful. Ace of Pentacles, someone we could grow, have a new, like I said, new beginning, but this is about new beginning, new growth, planting a seed, something that, like I said, stand the test of time, worth the investment in some way. Worth the investment. It's earth sign energy. This person could be an earth sign or have earth sign in their chart. The Hierophant is Taurus energy specifically. The Fool is Aquarius and Aries. And we have Leo with the sun. But those could be time periods too. Hierophant, Taurus season, Aries season, you could have already met this person, or it could be Leo season that you meet this person or have met this person. All right, tell me about baby steps. What is this baby steps? Two of Wands. I don't know if this person may be younger than you, because they feel like if that's the case, because I see the baby there. And then earlier when I was doing the oracle reading, we have the Two of Wands, and I was talking about following somebody, following. And look, there's the following. And I was talking about taking the lead, someone that they follows with the. So I feel like this person probably see you as someone that they can follow, that they can envision a future with as well. If depending on how this person feels about you, they will follow you wherever you go, because this is the Three of Wands is like future forward. It's like thinking about the future, thinking about and waiting for something to come in. There may be something coming in. This person, I mean, may have been waiting a long time for this type of connection. But I feel like with the younger card, I feel like this person may be a little bit immature, and in the sense of when it comes to relationships, they may not have had many relationships. And if they have, you're probably one where it probably was very stable, or vice versa. You didn't have that much experience with relationships, and this could be somebody that's like leading you in a way. If somebody's leading somebody, because you see the mother and then the baby, it's like the support, the love, the guidance, the nurturing that you may be bringing to this person that they may not have experienced before, where they feel like it's safe to follow you, that you won't take them somewhere. You won't take them somewhere where they will get hurt. Like you won't lead them down the wrong path. Thank you, Alpha. Two of Wands, what else? Baby steps. The Devil. Ooh, that's Capricorn energy. When I think of Capricorn energy, and because I know the devil is usually like a negative connotation, but when you think of the Capricorn sign itself, it's someone who is hardworking, very dedicated. I feel like this person may view you in that way, or maybe that Capricorn may be the sign. This is not a negative reading, you know. I feel like this is. I mean, well, the cards are pretty much positive, and I am kind of leaning towards that. But if you want me to go to the dark side, I can. You know, um, I could go to the dark side if you want me to. But the devil energy, what the way I'm reading it is like with the baby steps. This is someone who is very dedicated, hardworking, will pay attention to details. This is a person that will listen to you. They will remember like the most, maybe what you may consider a significant thing that you told them, but they may remember it, you know, because they pay attention to detail. Now, if I'm gonna, I don't know if I don't even want to go to the negative route. I don't. Seven of Cups. I'll lose. Okay, for Pentacles, Temperance. With the Seven of Cups, is showing the man on a hot air balloon. Like, I feel like what this is like someone who is like, they're floating in the air. You know, this is a song from Curly. It's called Floating on Air. Feel it, you breathe it, believe it, floating on air. I feel like this person, how he or she feels about you. I say he because there's a dude on the hot air balloon. But some of you may feel like that. Like this person may take you to new heights, or you may take this person to new heights. But when you think about the Seven of Cups, it's about illusions, it's about dreams. It could also be about options and choices, you know? So this is at the bottom of the deck. I don't know if this person ever felt like they were an option in the past, you know, and they may not have been chosen, or this may be you. Like you never felt like you were chosen, like you were the chosen one. Because with the Five of Pentacles is indicating like somebody felt like that they were at lack, you know, like they were unworthy, like they were missing something. Alpha, I don't know you that well to know about Capricorns and you as a Capricorn. I remember I said I have Capricorn in my chart too. Mars, I have Capricorn Mars. So, and what I know about Capricorns too is because I read up about the sign. They're very hard, and the people think negatively about Capricorn. But they're hardworking. They could be workaholics. They could be toxic. They could be obsessive, you know. But the bright side of the Capricorn is they're very dedicated, hardworking, grounded individuals. Very successful too, you know. But I don't know if someone felt like they were an option and felt a sense of lack, like they were not good enough, you know. But I feel like this person has reached this place where they feel more grounded, more centered within themselves. And that's probably, I don't want to attribute it to like you or vice versa to them if they made you feel that way. Because remember, in a relationship, it takes two. You know, someone can make you feel good about yourself, but you also have to allow them to make you feel good about yourself. You know, you had to give them that. I don't want to say power, but the permission to do that for you. You have to be open to that. You know, you did. So I feel like if this is it, this person may be thinking also with the Seven of Cups about what ways they could come towards you. If like what offer they want to make to you. If this is someone new, I don't like. I feel like this is like. You see he's holding a cup and it has the moon there. When the moon is about secret feelings, it could be secret emotions, desires. It could be hidden fears, subconscious fears, anxiety. It's like something deep down. And that may be something that it could either resonate with you or them, where you feel like You know, this person may want to make sure that they're offering you something that's of value, you know, that's something that you will appreciate, you know. But it's also this person wants to make sure that what they're bringing a solid offer, something that's grounded, that is stable, something that, because temperance is about alchemy, it's about balance, it's about transmutation, transformation. This person may see you as someone who has transformed them in some way. You may be, and vice versa. Somebody improved somebody's self-esteem. Somebody feels better, like they're floating on air, you know. And you see these two people, the temperance and the hot air balloon dude. You know, they're floating on air. I feel like this is a mutual thing, that you did this both for each other. And it says you create positivity and warmth together. So I feel like this is a mutual thing. Maybe both of you were at a place where you felt like you were options, but you were never chosen, that you were never valued or appreciated or seen as worthy by other people. But it's like you two together are doing that for each other. You're choosing each other. You know, you're both making each other feel like you're levitating in some way. Like it's that kind of love. That it just, like that stupid song, "Love will lift us up where we belong." that song is so cheesy. I like cheesy songs though, but maybe I should listen to that song. But I don't know. Yeah, but somebody, is definitely willing to give. If both of you have gone through something, like you tried so many times to meet people, to be in relationships, and it's always been disappointing, this is probably the time where this person may be the one that's going to give you the love that you give. You know, they're going to be reciprocal. They're going to be matching you. But like I said, they could be totally different than your usual type. They may be foreign to you. They may be different. They may be unique, exotic, because of this red dude right there. You know, I mentioned that earlier. So that may resonate. But that's something. I feel like the seasons to look out for, because everybody's situation is different, you know. You know, you could meet this person during the spring, the summer, and possibly late fall and winter with the devil and temperance. That's late fall and winter. So you could meet this person anytime, you know. But the signs that I saw were Leo, Taurus, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Aries, Aquarius, and Leo. Leo, yeah, I said Leo already. So, yeah. So now I'm ready to. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the compliments, Vera. I try not to, like, I make this joke, like when people compliment me, that I don't want my head to get big and I break my Amazon glasses, you know? So I appreciate the compliment. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm going to go back to answering yes or no questions. Let me. Don't say things like that. I just imagine in my head getting bigger and bigger, like whoosh, and the glasses explode, or my balloon head explodes. That is such a gross image. Okay. I'm curious. Anybody who can comment in the chat, tell me your signs. I know Alpha. You can only ask a question if you tell me what your zodiac sign is. I'm curious to know what people's zodiac signs are. Because I know Alpha is a Scorpio. I mean, he's Scorpio rising. I remember that. But you're Capricorn, Alpha. I remember that. You're Cancer? Cancerian? Okay. I have a Scorpio sun, but I have a Cancer rising. Okay. Okay, for you can ask your question. Let me get the cards ready. Yeah, I'm a Cancer rising, Cancerian rising. I have a lot of water in my chart. Yes, still yes or no. These cards. Yeah, yes or no questions. Only yes or no questions. I hope that love reading resonated. Okay. Okay, hold on a minute. I need to drink water. Hi, Pallavi. How are you? Okay, free. Okay, well, is Tushar waiting for Priya's reply? 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 Okay, is Tushar still waiting for Priya's reply? Is Tushar waiting for Priya's reply? It's saying no. But it says when you stop obsessing in the bottom. But the other card that came out was self-work. Identify your own toxic behaviors preventing you from having healthy relationships. So are you just putting it out there, Priya, however it may resonate. I don't know, somebody's being toxic, you know, try to take control of a situation or anything, you know. Oh, who? Me? Yes, Pallavi, you may ask a question. Yeah, you know what it is, Alpha? I think I'm curious. I think it has to do with the time zone, but I also think it's because people think I'm Indian. I think people think I'm Indian. That's why. I don't mind. Whoever I'm meant to help or guide or provide guidance to or information or advice, insight, then it's meant to be. Yeah. I don't mind. But honestly, when I look at my demographics, it's mostly US, then India and UK. Yeah. See, Alpha? You know, yesterday I ordered food and it was an Indian. I don't know if he was Indian. He could have been Indian. I don't know. He could be from, but he the way he was looking at me, I was like, I bet you he thinks I'm from his country. Yeah, yeah. You hear my American New York accents. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I don't, honestly, I don't know if I want to get married again, girl. I think I could be in a committed relationship without being married. Okay, so yeah, he needs, because that was a self work. He needs to work on himself, and you need to do whatever you want to do. Do you? Does anybody else have a yes or no question? I remember somebody came and they were like, "You talk too fast. Can you speak Hindi?" I'm like, "I don't speak Hindi. I'm not from India." Okay. Okay. I'm reading Pallavi's question right now. I don't know what's considered a professional reader. I think a professional reader gets paid, right? So this is more like I would like to be a professional reader, but you think I'm a teacher? Alpha? Yeah, this is something that I would like to make a career, somewhat of a career out of. I mean, I think I could make money off this. I think I can, but I have to be you know what? I think I'm pretty honest, authentic, and not like some people they do it for the money, but the thing is like my time is money too. And if there's a way for me to make money but also be able to help people, then I feel like this is a good way for me to do it, because doing tarot has helped me so much, and I know how it can help other people too. So I do I do work at a school, but I'm not a teacher. In a way, I studied education, though. I would like to make a business out of this, though. But I not, if I was to start a business and it was just tarot and like counseling, that type of things, like psychology, all that, I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is I want to do. But like I would say this is more a hobby than anything. But I feel like the hobby is not a really good word. I feel like it's more than a hobby. All right, let's answer Pallavi's question. Is Suvik physically attracted to Pallavi? Is he attracted to her appearance at all? Is Suvik physically attracted to Pallavi? Is he attracted to her physical appearance? I want one card to come out. Is Suvik attracted to Pallavi? Is he physically attracted to Pallavi? Is he attracted to her physical appearance? That card came on reverse. I'm not going to take that card. Is Suvik attracted to Pallavi? Is he physically attracted to Pallavi? What is this? I'm going to go into tarot. I'm going to answer your question with tarot. I did split the deck, so it's upright yes, reverse no. Is Savik attracted to Pallavi? Is he Savik physically attracted to Pallavi? Say no. Okay, I feel like be careful with him because I kept seeing like cards with that said negative stuff. Be careful with him. Mm-hmm. Be careful with Suvik. I don't know. I kept seeing negative cards. Oh, thank you, Pre. Pallavi, yeah, I'm getting like that's what I saw like I was like, what the hell? It said devoid of light, toxic, sexual desires. If he is attracted to you, it's for not the best reasons, but it's saying no. Okay, I just beware, please, because I see this and then this. You know, this I don't want. No, just be careful. I'm sorry, Pallavi. Yes, you could ask another question, Sammy. I didn't like the devoid of light, toxic. I don't like that because that's giving me like dark devil, like bad. It's giving me bad vibes. Too many negative cards came out. Okay. Okay. Does Jay like Sammy? Does Jay like Sammy? Does Jay like Sammy? You got a yes. He does like you. He does like you. You got 2 yeses. You got 2 yeses, Sammy. Thank you, Pri. I really appreciate your compliment. Let's see. Why do you think that? I don't even know how to say that word. Academician? I'm gonna have to Google that word. Behavioral technician. Do you think so? Yeah, definitely. I feel like I could be a counselor. People always talk to me. They tell me their business. And it's like, since I am someone who values privacy, and when people tell me things, I tend to keep it to myself, you know? That's the beauty of being me, but also the curse, you know, because then everybody wants to talk to me, everybody. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested in talking to you. I don't feel like talking to you, you know? You're welcome, Sammy. Like before, you know, I thought about studying forensic psychology, which is kind of makes sense because I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart too. I have 4 Scorpio placements. So I am curious about people, how people work, how people think, why people do the things they do. You know, people are interesting to me. Does anybody else have a yes or no question to ask? Because I could do another reading. I like that first reading I did in the beginning of the live because I was using this archetypes deck. And I like those deep readings, the ones that talk about those, not the fluffy stuff, like love and romance. And I like, how can we be better? Like, what do we need to work on? What do we need to release? What parts of us, ourselves do we have to, you know? That's me holding a fake knife. And apparently I don't know how to hold knives because that was weird. Now let's see what this dude is telling me because I'm confused, sir. Confusing dead? What do you mean? That's me reading LOL out loud. How's your daughter doing, Alpha? The reading I did earlier, it talks about that. That reading I did earlier was deep. I think it was very deep. Oh, confusing. Oh my gosh. I'll follow up with him when I finish the reading. Okay, I'm gonna go back into the archetypes deck. Since this particular card deck, D-E-C-K, okay? D-E-C-K, all right? Just so we all clear, I'm not saying anything else. I'm gonna go into the book, but this book is so tiny. You see how tiny this book is and the cards are? And it's hard to find the specific card I'm looking for. I don't think do they have a table of contents? Oh, wait, they do. Why didn't I utilize this before? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back into this deck, the archetypes deck. I'm gonna do a quick reading. Just 3 cards. Alpha, you're not telling me about your daughter. You're not telling me about your daughter. How is she? Is she okay? Is she doing good? Ooh. Well, there's 3 cards. That's what I wanted. The first card is the forest. Ooh, at the bottom of the deck, we have gem. Hi, Marcia. How are you? Hola. Hola, Marcia. The gem is at the bottom of the deck. But the first card we have is the forest. Oh, this reminds me of Alpha. Oh, okay. Hopefully you get to see her this weekend or sooner. Look, this reminds me of Alpha because he lives in Washington and they have these beautiful trees in the forest. I'm doing good. I hope you are too. So the forest. That makes me think about that song from System of a Down. Come with me, my little friend, to the forest. Some shit. I can't remember the rest of the words. Okay, the forest. All right, the other card we have is the flame. And it makes me think of the song Eternal Flame. Is this burning an eternal flame? I know, right? I love the sound of the shuffling too. And the siren. This is like the lusty, sexy, seductress, temptress energy. But then we have the gem underneath, So we're going to go into the forest. Tell me about this forest. 178. I didn't know that this had a table of contents. Could have saved myself a lot of trouble. Okay, the forest. Consider for a moment. All All right, it says the woods, the thickets, the jungle. Consider for a moment your earliest memory of the forest. It's likely it included all the mythic dynamics of this archetypal space. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasure. Such is the magic of the forest. It requires first that you enter it and then that you get lost within it. You may think that there is a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough, you'll be on what is known as the pathless path. There are tricksters here, dense foliage, and entanglement. But equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and friends among the trees. You're on an adventure now, and there is no turning back. So embrace the dim light and the moving shadows, whether literal or imagined. Brave the forest and getting lost, and get lost getting found. It says magic abounds, childlike wonder, adventure, and in the darkest concealment, density, savagery. It's funny that we see the flame, you know? I sang already. I sang. The eternal flame song in the forest song. The flame. Let's see what the flame is. The flame. 210. Okay, the flame. The fire, the spark, the glimmer. Ah. See, this is what I was thinking. Like, this is the last thing you want in a forest, fire. But it's like something that's going to help light the way, lead you down the right path, lead you to the path that's meant for you, you know? So it's like the forest can be somewhere that's unknown, uncharted to you. And then this flame is what's going to be guiding. It's going to be your guiding light. That's what's coming to mind. In Sanskrit, the word for fire is Agni. I hope I said that right. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen and believed it to be responsible for our vitality, which is the solar plexus chakra. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. Think of this card as a call to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten and protect the flame, no matter how harshly the winds around you blow. It could be an inner archetypal that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, the shaman would call to you with the language of the flame. So it says health, mental clarity, good digestion. And when dark, excess heat, anger, complete darkness. So, and you know, when we were reading the forest card, it talked about the glimmers of light that you'll see. When you think about like our hope, those are glimmers of, those can be glimmers too. Things that we hold on to, things that give us hope, things that light the way for us. Those sparks that we continue to hold on to, or we try to reignite within us. But when the Siren card, you know what I find very interesting? Because the Siren is, I feel like this is about, don't let that, whatever you desire, whatever you crave, whatever you want to get lost. Don't lose that. Don't lose that fire. Don't lose that spark. No matter where you are or who you're with, don't let anything extinguish your flame. Even in your darkest hour, that's something that you need to continue to nurture, to stoke, you know? The Siren. I know the Siren's in the beginning because I was reading this. All right. It's a mermaid tale. If you know anything about sirens, sirens are known for being they're mermaids basically, that they start singing a tune and they're beautiful and sexy, and they basically trap whoever's in the sea, like whoever's on a ship. They drown these men. They basically they lure these men to their deaths, you know. So it's not always, that's the negative connotation, right? But it says the temptress, the seducer, the femme fatale. The siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters and take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, down, down to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option. Unlike Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. So it's about awakening, sensuality, absorption, and arousal. And the negative sense is wickedness, adultery, wreckage, betrayal, insatiability. I don't know, like, what I'm getting is like there's something calling to you. Something that's calling to you and that's burning this flame or is reigniting a flame within you. Some of you may have been in a dark place and there's something that's now bringing you back to life. It's reminding you of your purpose, reminding you of your deepest desires, what it is for you want for yourself, for your life, or even if you're wanting a relationship, what you want in a relationship. But it's like requiring you to go deep, deep, deep. It's about getting lost, but getting lost in yourself. But in a way, it's about getting lost in yourself to find yourself, to rediscover yourself. But like I mentioned earlier, like to do that, it requires bravery. And I think one of the cards said that you have to be brave. The gem. Let me see. 220. 20. That was at the bottom of the deck. Oh my gosh, the lover. Oh my God. I don't know if there's somebody that's reigniting you. It's kind of reminded me of that love reading we did. Something or someone is reigniting that desire, love. The swan, even though the card says the lover, it shows a swan. It's about soulmates. It's about your soul, your deepest, your soul path. Soul path, what you're meant for, what you were born for, what were you created for? Okay. All right. So the gem, the diamond, the gold, the inner treasure. There are infinite names for the gem. It is also known as the jewel, the star, the talent, the gift, the gold. One thing for certain is that if found deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. For example, a diamond in the rough. The gem always stands in contrast to its surroundings. You can't find it when you are among comforts and pleasantries. Precious stones develop slowly deep in the earth and amid pressure and darkness. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface. How come we're seeing a lot of things about darkness and descent and getting lost and the shadows? You noticing a pattern here? This is like you are the gem. You are finding out your value. You are finding out that the inner treasure that exists within you and whatever that is. It could be your love. It could be your creativity. It could be your drive. It could be your passion. It could be your nurturing nature. It could be your protective nature. It's something inside of you that you're recognizing or is being revealed within you. What your strength is, your power, what makes you unique, special, valuable, all right, I'm gonna read that again. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface where there is no definitive map. Yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we cannot help but seek out its radiance. Your gem, like your destiny, is unlike any other in the entire world. Keep digging. This is about like discovering yourself, finding yourself, unraveling yourself, unearthing yourself, revealing what it is that is your soul path. What is your soul purpose? What do you have to contribute of value? It's unique, shining, generative, irreplaceable. And the shadow sense, the gem is envy, greed, and grasping. I want to read the lover card too, because I love this. This is about you like digging deep. I love shadow readings, you know, because we're all about like, oh, how we look, how the surface things, the things that really don't matter. But it's like deep down inside, or inside of you, you know, there's more to who you are. There's more to life. There's more to all of this, you know? So the lover, the lover, the lover, lover, lover. See, not everybody likes these deep readings. I like deep people. The lover, the lover. I know it's in the beginning, the lover. 138. I just want to read this. The heart, the beloved, the devoted. Like, is what is that you love? What is it that you are devoted to? What will you put all your heart and soul into? It's connection, expansion, devotion, awe, and the shadow, it's indulgence, attachment, obsession. Pulsing through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and the other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no expectation or rules about the should be. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. And like, it's in order for you to really, truly be grateful for everything that exists or anything that can be offered to us by the earth, by other people, we have to be able to see what it is that is worthy within us, that can be appreciated, that can be valued, that can be seen, that can be desired, wanted. But this is all about us knowing who we are, you know, not letting anything veer us off the path of our own discovery of what we're meant to pursue in our lives, but also like who we're meant to pursue, if we're meant to pursue anything, anyone or anything, you know? This is about connecting to yourself, connecting or reconnecting to the part of yourself that has been long neglected, and seeing like, this is like definitely like going into the shadows, nurturing those parts of yourself that you have neglected, that you have kept hidden, that are now revealing itself, you know? It's about going into the dark and then emerging into something that is of value, someone of value. We all have value, but it's exactly like, what is it? This is about you figuring that out for yourself, you know? I'm going to leave that reading there. Somebody has a question. I hope that reading was helpful in some way. Self-discovery. One thing I know is that you have to appreciate all aspects of yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, there may be parts of you that you don't like, but then there are parts of you that you cannot change, you know, and the parts that you cannot change, you have to accept, you know. I mean, most of the time there are things that we can change, but there are certain things that cannot be changed, you know, like if you're someone who's very loving and caring, that's something that cannot be changed in you because that's how you were built. That's how God made you, you know. You make up for the people who are apathetic, who don't care about other people, who don't love other people, that are manipulative and selfish, you know? So there are certain things that we can change, but there are certain things that we cannot change. And the things that we cannot change, we have to accept, you know? And one of the things that we have to accept too is that we cannot change other people. Okay, so let me read Opal's question. Hey, Teresa, welcome back. Okay, Opal, is R attracted to Opal? Is R attracted to Opal? Is R attracted to Opal? I hope Opal's still there. I'm answering her question right now. Is R attracted to Opal? Oh, no. It's saying no. It's saying no. I don't know if they are, this is the thing, because I'm looking at the cards of what they say. Resistance, stubborn. I don't know if they are, and it's just like the current energy is like maybe the person is, and they're resisting that attraction. They're resisting the connection. Their higher self is telling them it's not the right time. Too stubborn to change. There will be a divine intervention after hitting rock bottom. Look at the bottom of the deck. It says divine intervention. That's so weird. This is interesting. They are resisting the connection. And then divine intervention will, after hitting rock bottom, and then I look at the bottom of the deck is divine intervention. There may be a blessing in this situation, okay? Maybe right now he's not attracted or he's resisting that. Maybe he does like you and he's just like, no, I can't do this. I'm not, I should have, whatever. You know how we tell ourselves things. But I don't want to be sugarcoating something and saying, oh yeah, the cards are saying no, but he is attracted to you. I don't want to be, right now it's a no, right? But it could be because there's some resistance on his part. Or there's something that needs to change in a situation. If it's not him, there may be somebody better for you. If it's not that, that's two ways I'm reading it, So I hope that gives you some perspective, Opal. There's somebody that's resisting something. I don't know if that's your energy or his, but there's resistance showing up. But I find it funny. It says divine intervention, rock bottom and divine intervention. And then I look at the bottom of the deck is divine intervention. So the no could be a blessing that may be a blessing for right now, or there may be a blessing coming in the near future. And remember, I read for the current energy too. Remember, people are finicky. He did? Wow. See, it was a blessing. Think about it. If he body shamed you, then fuck him. And not in the good way. That kind of way, That's the divine intervention. Don't talk to him. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. Anybody who will body shame you isn't somebody that anyone will want to be around. There's a way of saying things without hurting somebody. You know what I mean? But the card said no. I'm sorry, Opal. It's so weird that it's a divine intervention. Anybody who will do that to someone, make someone feel bad about themselves. I know, and I'm sorry, Opal. I think anybody who goes and, well, I don't know what in the context he said it, though. I'll be honest, because I don't know if he said it with malice, because sometimes people say things and they don't mean it like that. And I'm not taking our side or anything. But what I'm saying is sometimes people can say things and it's not really, but it's the way you take it, right? But like, it was interesting. You got no, and then divine intervention. I think that was meant to happen. But I feel like it's a lesson for you, Opal, for you to like think about, like if someone says that to you, and how it makes you feel, you have to process that, because what if somebody says that again and it's a different person? Are you going to have the same feelings? Are you going to feel the same? Are you going to have the same reaction? Or are you going to be like, fuck you, I'm not that. I look beautiful. I look sexy the way I am. That type of thing. You're welcome, Opal. Oh. Okay. I hate to end the reading like this, the live stream like this. I hate to leave it like this. But I feel like it has to close out this way. Because the energy is now dying and I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, it's time for me to get off the live stream right now. It's time to end that live stream. So I'm so sorry, Opal. I hope, I feel like it's a lesson for all of us. Whenever somebody says something to us, how does it make us feel? And how important is it what they said? And how important is the person? How much meaning do we give to the person's word? Is that person important enough to make us feel bad about ourselves, And anyone important to you, and hopefully who feels you are important to them, will be sure to be more kind and more tactful with the way they speak to us, He's toxic. It sounds like he's toxic. It sounds like he's trying, this is like the red flags of an abuser. Someone who will try to put you down, and then they'll try to make you do things to prove yourself to them. Like, okay, I have to prove myself. I'm not this, I'm not that. And it's a power play. It's about control. So this is somebody that you may need to avoid interacting with for your betterment. If him saying that triggered you, made you feel bad, it hurt you, emotionally hurt you, because you don't want to be around people who will do or say things that will hurt you, that show no regard for your feelings. So, if that's something for you to consider, and as a woman, and as I would say, like, I hope that you will see me as a friend, like an honest friend. I know we don't know each other, but my goal is to empower people. And if that type of the way he communicated with you and the way he's acting doesn't sit well with you, then you already know what you need to do, and you have to do what's right for you. And hopefully it's where you're not allowing yourself to be disrespected or, definitely disrespected, not disrespected or even abused. Okay. So I'm sorry, I had to end it this way. So I hope you feel better, Opal. Know that even if you, like, I don't know what anybody, because I will be considered the F word too, but I don't care, I don't care. I feel comfortable and confident in my body, I mean, of course, there's things I want to change, and I know I can change, but, it's like what you think about yourself matters most than some loser who is obsessed and abusive, Thank you. I don't know, like anybody who talks like that, they're not a kind person. They're not, they're giving bad person vibes, I'm careful about using the N word, the narc word, because I think people use it too much, but that comes off as like controlling and abusive, and it could be considered narcissistic too, but yeah. But who do you love more, him or you? So this is like a lesson for all of us. We have to love ourselves more than we love anybody else. Because if we love somebody more than we love ourselves, then we're going to allow them to mistreat us and take advantage of us. When you love yourself more than you love somebody else, then you won't tolerate that behavior. That's the biggest threat to someone who may be narcissistic, is that when you put yourself first and whatever they think or say doesn't have any power over you. That's when you take your power back, they lose their power, So I'm gonna let everyone go. I hope everyone has a great evening and has a peaceful day or evening ahead, because I know people are in different parts of the world. And I hope to see you tomorrow around 2 p.m. Eastern time for a general energy check-in. So I'm sending you lots of love and light. Take care, everyone. And thank you for joining me today and liking and subscribing. Take care, everyone. Bye.